Yes, we're back at it again on a crazy little thing called Lovdev. We are discussing a road trip that nearly came unstuck when a tyre failed in the middle of nowhere. The classic British problem involving the England flags, and a conspiracy theory surrounding a mysterious death of a scientist. In this week's What The it's to do with one of Macaulay Culkin's movies. And in the weird news, let's just say, there's an alleged Ice Cream Cartel. As always, I pick random topics, all from Reddit, the news, and the strange corners of the internet. I'll be sharing my thoughts and unnecessary opinions. Let's get straight into it. It's episode 227, The Ice Cream Cartel. I've got my washing machine spinning in the background like the Tasmanian devil. He's absolutely going nuts. I don't know if he's on the last cycle of the running thing. You know what I'm on about, when he goes like that. I don't know what I'm talking. All I can hear is that in the background. If I can hear it, you can as well. Don't worry about it. Hello, everybody. How are we? I hope you are well. I've had an amazing week. Kind of. I got to do my double the other day. Double. Don't get to say that a lot. 2 gigs in one night. The first one was up in Leeds at a Spanish bar. I forgot the name of it now. I think it's called Rebelión de Cuba. Maybe I've said that wrong, but that's the name of the place. It was all right. It was good, man. Had a good night. I was on with Sonny Sullivan, Al Purnell, and Quincy was headlining it. So I had to go and open that. The first time at the comedy club. And it was quite an unforgettable experience. The audience were a little bit quiet at the start because they probably thought, oh, who's this guy? He's a bit ruthless, isn't he? He's not holding back. But after a bit, they were really up for it, and I was getting laughs, and I was doing really well. There was a woman who shouted something out. So basically, I told the audience that I had an arranged marriage. And this woman went, how old is she? 4. And I was like, wow. And the audience were like, whoa. So what I ended up doing, after every joke, I would go 4. I would mention the 4. Or mention something about an age of a child. But she was all right, like, do you know what I mean? She wasn't being nasty. I think she just thought, that's funny, let me say that. And we had a chat afterwards, and we were fine. So it was a good night. I had a really good night there, and I was buzzing when I come off stage. Then I had to drive up to Huddersfield, which wasn't that far. It was like a 20-minute drive from that gig. Got to do Howard Walker's, and that was a totally different type of venue. It was in a social club. When I say social club, it was in a cricket club, and it was rammed, man. And they were off from the start. Straight away, as soon as I spoke, they were just laughing, and it just stayed like that all the way to the end. An amazing night. I had an amazing night overall. Oh, it was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, man, that was really good. And then I got to do the Glee Club, doing rough works. So a lot of the new stuff that I've been writing on quite recently, wanted to try that out. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. Obviously, the filler stuff, I need to get rid of that and just keep it constant laughs, because that's basically what I do, isn't it? I just want the audience to continue with the laughter all the way through. Do you know what I mean? Non-stop, boom, 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 like a machine gun. So that was my week, really, and then obviously work and other bits and bobs in between. My car is due a service as well. Now, I've been trying to get hold of my mechanic, and he's probably one of the hardest blokes to get hold of. Now, some of you do know him. It's Dave. Dave is so nice. Every time he services my car, I've got to chase him up for money. I'm like, Dave, do you want to get paid or what? And he just takes ages. So I don't know what's up with him now, because it's been over 2 weeks and he said he'll get back to me. He said he'll ring me last week and he hasn't even done that. So I've messaged him again on WhatsApp to say, Dave, what's happening? I need to get my car sorted. Not even my car, I'm going to get my wife's car as well. Now, I wish I had money, guys, you know, so I could buy a new car. I love my car to bits, the one I've got at the moment. It does its job. It's fast when it wants to be. Do I really need to change it? No, not really. Am I getting bored? A little bit. I suppose you get bored of cars, don't you, after a while? So, yes, a nice upgrade would be lovely. Maybe something with a sunroof would be nice, if I can afford that. Or an automatic as well, because I drive so much on the motorway. I'm always in traffic, and it can be a nuisance changing gears all the time. Although I do love changing a gear, because it feels like you're properly driving, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. I might be thinking of something else later to tell you. I'm going to have to think about what it could be. So let's just go straight into a topic. It's time for a confession. Right, who has put this one up then? Somebody called Sharp Negotiation. They have a confession to make. Something scary happened when I was on the road recently. Hey? Something happened to you on the road and it was proper scary. Shall we get down onto it and see what happened? Sharp Negotiation said he was on a 5-hour road trip with my mum and dad to go and visit my family in Illinois. We drove in my car. On our first break, we stopped at a gas station to gas up the car and get some snacks. I had low tyre pressure. I grabbed the air compressor in the trunk and put the air in the tyre. When we got back on the road, the tyre had low tyre pressure again, which sounds like you might have had a leak. 10 minutes later, I pulled over on the side of the road and me and my dad looked at the tyre. The valve stem was leaking and couldn't fix it. We had to use the car tyre kit to take the entire off and use the donut in the trunk. When we put it on the donut, it was so small and thin compared to the other tyres, and it said temporary use only 50/50. Since it was a Saturday, tyre places were closed. Really? On a Saturday? In the US, they're open in the UK. And we were in the middle of nowhere. I was so scared to drive so long on this temp tyre, and the car was slightly lopsided. We continued with the drive and the donut held up surprisingly well. Okay, where's the scary part? That's what I want to know. We were on the highway 98% of the time and had no issues. When we got to our destination, we told our cousins what happened. Even at the destination, the donut still didn't blow out. I drove my cousin around in my car and we went to the store and places. They were like 10 to 20 minutes away. Monday was our last day and thankfully everything was open. We went to the tyre shop to get it fixed. Before we got back on the road, we made it home safely. I'm glad my dad came through. He planned on not going but changed his mind. Me and my mum don't know nothing about changing tyres. I'm presuming you're a lady. Initially I said mate, which, well, boy or whatever, bloke. Is that what I said? I can't remember now. We would have been stranded on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. It's not really a confession. The confession is that you don't know how to change a tyre. I think that's what your confession is. But I don't think it's an actual proper confession. I can't even say the frigging word. My problem is about this whole thing is, how does the USA not have any tyre garages open on a Saturday? That's absolutely nuts. I don't know what time you left, but in the UK, they're all open. Some of them are even open on a Sunday. The little side private garages are open. Your main dealerships they're open like, Monday to Saturday mainly. It's no problem getting a tyre here. Maybe because we're a smaller country, a lot smaller than you guys. that could be it. I don't know. I find that quite bizarre that you don't have a tyre place open on a Saturday. If you don't, you need to start a petition and say, how come in the UK or lot of parts of Europe, they've got tyre garages open on a Saturday? Oh dear. So yeah, I mean, that's what happened to sharp negotiation. Isn't really a confession, because you haven't done anything bad, apart from you drove on the motorway, unless you're saying, you guys call it the highway, we call it the motorway. So unless you drove on the highway and you shouldn't have, maybe that's what your confession is. So you basically just continued your journey and you was absolutely fine. You can drive on a spare tyre on the motorway, but you are limited to a certain amount of miles per hour. In the UK, I believe it's probably similar to the US. I think it's around 50. I'm not too sure. It probably depends on the tyre itself and the vehicle. But yeah, I suppose it's a good thing that your mum and dad was there, wasn't they? Well, I hope you are all safe and sound. Before we continue, right, this played on my mind. I thought, why isn't, there's got to be tyre places open in the US. So I asked Chat LGBTQ, and he said, yes, it would sound odd to a UK listener, but it can happen. It depends where you are. As they are in Illinois, in the US, tyre shops aren't all run like we have in the UK, like Quick Fit. Many are independent businesses, and some close on Saturday afternoon, or they just don't open on a weekend at all, which I find is really bizarre, especially in smaller towns. But in most cities and suburbs in the US, places are usually open on a Saturday. So in the US, they've got Discount Tire, Firestone, Midas, Walmart, and then your car dealerships. So if someone was in Chicago, there's plenty of places to go to. If you're in a rural town with a few thousand people, it's much more believable, and they will struggle to find somewhere that is open. Wow. So yeah, there are places open in the US. Because I bet some of my US listeners will be like, no, there is. We're not that behind in the times. We do have tyre places open. Thank God for that. But it just depends where you are then, I suppose. Maybe we've got that in the UK. Maybe if you're in Wales or parts of Scotland up north, then you might be struggling to find a tyre place. But where I live, in Birmingham, in the UK, it's, oh God, there's probably a tyre place every, 5 minutes drive. There'll be somewhere open. Just like I said. So let's get back into the usual stuff that I do. I love a conspiracy theory, and I haven't done one for a few episodes. I can't remember the last time I covered that topic. Thought, let's go back and see what we can find. This one is more of a real article than an actual someone's theory of a conspiracy theory. That doesn't even make any sense. It's been put up by somebody called Come They Lee, or Come They Lee. Maybe it's Come They Lee, or Come Dine With Me. Could be Come Dine With Lee. It doesn't really matter, does it? Now, the conspiracy they have gone with, here's a bit of music for it, actually. I haven't even done any music for it. Conspiracy theories, what's real, what's fake? Shall we find out? Yeah. Let's find out what is real and what is fake. So it's an article that Come Thy Lee has put up. The title of it says, body of a missing Los Alamos nuclear lab employee was discovered after months of conspiracy theories. Melissa Cassia, a Los Alamos National Laboratory employee, whose disappearance became entangled in months of online speculation about a supposed group of missing scientists, has been identified as a person whose remains were discovered in a New Mexico forest last month. Oh no. Authorities confirmed that human remains found in the Carson National Forest on the 28th of May belonged to a 53-year-old admin assistant who was reported missing in June in 2025 after failing to return home or arrive at work. While the identification answers one of the biggest questions surrounding her disappearance, investigators have yet to determine how she actually died. The discovery brings a big development in a case that has drawn national attention since Cassius, I hope I said the name properly, vanished nearly a year ago. The case had become a focal point of conspiracy theories. They were linking several deaths and disappearances involving people connected to scientific research, despite families and investigators repeatedly disputing those actual claims. Now, Cassius' loved ones say they remain focused on finding answers as the investigation continues. According to the New Mexico police, a hire discovered human remains in Carson Forest on the 20th of May, alerted authorities. Investigators also located a handgun near the scene. Following an examination, the New Mexico Office of the Medical Investigator identified the remains of those of Melissa. Police said the cause and manner of the death have not yet been established, with the investigation remaining active. Melissa worked as an admin assistant at Los Alamos. Before her disappearance, the facility is known for conducting defensive nuclear research and for its historical role in the development of the world's first atomic weapon during the Second World War. Now I can see why conspiracy theorists were going absolutely nuts about this. She was reported missing on the 26th of June after failing to return home and not showing up for work, following a visit to her daughter. Authorities said that family members became alarmed when they discovered that several of her personal belongings had been left behind. The family later discovered that her personal belongings, including a purse, ID, cell phone, had been left, prompting concern for her welfare and missing person investigation. Now that's a bit weird, isn't it? So before she left, her personal belongings were still there at home. Her family reacted to the identification in a statement which was shared on Facebook, expressing the grief while vowing to continue to get answers. This is a lot to process. Our hearts are heavy and we fully intend to continue to pursue answers for justice, says the statement. The family also noted that Melissa was found in an area that had previously been searched as part of efforts to locate her. Although the identification has provided some closure regarding her whereabouts, key questions surrounding what happened remain unanswered as authorities continue their actual investigation. Now, here is a conspiracy theory's interest in the whole case. Melissa's disappearance gained wider attention earlier this year when it became one of the most prominent cases cited in an online conspiracy theory involving several people connected to the scientific research in the US. The theory is centered on the deaths and disappearances of at least 10 individuals with links to scientific or technical field. Online speculation suggested the incidents were connected to the victim's work, despite the case involving people from vastly different professions and circumstances. Those grouped together under the so-called missing scientist label included a retired Air Force general, an engineer, custodian and research working in the field, which ranges from pharmaceuticals to space exploration. The list also included physics professor who was murdered by a former classmate and had already received extensive national and international media coverage. The public interest in the theory grew to the point that the US House of Reps Oversight Committee and the FBI announced an investigation into the actual case. Even the US President Donald Trump commented on the matter, describing the disappearance and deaths as pretty serious stuff. However, relatives of several individuals linked to the actual conspiracy have actually challenged the claim and urged people to establish on the facts rather than just making stuff up, which I totally agree. Family members have pointed that some of the deaths cited by these conspiracy theorists have got clear explanations. One researcher died from heart disease, while another reported to have died in an apartment after a suicide and became deeply distressed following a sudden death of both of his parents within an hour. That's strange in itself, isn't it? In another case, often referred online, authorities charged a neighbour with murder and burglary in connection with the death of somebody called Carl Grimmeyer. Don't know. Louise Grimmeyer, the victim's widow, strongly rejected suggestions that the deaths were part of a wider pattern. I think it's absolute nonsense, she told the BBC. I mean, there's facts and they're out there. Other relatives have caught up in the speculation, have described the rumour as disgusting, so they added to the pain and grief already explained by families dealing with an actual personal tragedy. Now, with Melissa's case, investigators continue to work towards determining what actually happened in the months following her disappearance. While the discovery resolves the question of where she was, officials have made clear that the investigation into her death is far from over. Oh, God. So, conspiracy theories thinking this woman worked in a laboratory and dealt with people that have worked on the atomic bomb and something else. I can't remember what it was now. I can see why people think that, it could be connected. It's probably been a setup. And why would you leave your house without your ID and your mobile phone? I mean, no one ever leaves their house without the mobile phone, do they? So it is a little bit strange, to be honest with you. And I don't even know where they found the body, because they haven't really said. Was it on a hill? I can't remember now. But yeah, that was today's conspiracy theory. Do you know, you can never know what is actually real or what isn't. But there is something I'm going to tell you that is true. It's what the... And it's to do with a movie that Macaulay Culkin starred in. Who remembers the film My Girl? Now, in that movie, apparently, thousands of real bees were actually used. It wasn't AI, it wasn't like animated. It was actual real bees in the film. The actor played Bestie Vada, who was known as Anna Klamoski, I think, in the film, was allergic to everything. Thomas J. in the 91 coming-of-age drama, Culkin revealed that filmmakers actually used real bees in the scene where the youngster searches for Vader's beloved mood ring and is fatally swarmed. Now, the way they did that, they wouldn't do that today, Culkin said, who is now actually 45 years old. Amazing. On the appearance on the film with Kevin McCarthy, which he told this in a podcast, reflecting on the film, which was filmed in Orlando, Culkin says production actually released like thousands of bees on me. Ha 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 ha. They put this stuff on my fingertips that smelt like the queen bee to keep him safe, he said. So they were actually attracted to my hands, so I wasn't a threat. They just told me to wave my hands in front of my face so the bees could get by my face, so it looks good for the camera and all that stuff, he added. They told me not to touch anything because at one point I touched my pants and boom, they started being attracted towards his pants. After each of the 4 takes concluded, Culkin would dunk his hands in hot soapy water and then run into the woods, he said. The bee handler gave me a piece of advice. He said, human beings can run faster then any bee can fly. Ha 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 ha. And I was like, but I'm 10. How fast do you think I am? Filmmakers captured the shot and Culkin avoided getting stung. Though his body was buzzing with trepidation from another scene where he and Chmelsky had to jump into a lake. So what they do is they catch the water moccasins, those snakes that are poisonous. The Home Alone star recalled they catch the water moccasins and then they cut them into pieces, and then they would use that as bait for the snapping turtles. Then they would take the snapping turtles and cut them up and use them as bait for alligators. And I'm just like, what lakes are we jumping into? Ha 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 ha. Jeez, have you ever heard of a swimming pool? Brilliant. So the actual bees in the film, My Girl, was proper bees. It wasn't even animated. Amazing, innit? There we got that. That's something that you learn on What the? Now, I do apologise. I haven't really told you much, have I? Apart from my two little gigs. I haven't really got up to much, in all honesty. That's why I've just kind of like continued with this. But then you would have turned it off by now, and you haven't, and you're still listening. And we are nearly at the end of the podcast, and obviously, I've got to do it. British problem. If I don't do it, it's not a crazy little thing called Lovdev, is it? Maybe I should call this podcast a crazy little thing called British Problems and just base it on everyday British problems. Now, it is the season of the World Cup. Some of you are watching it. Thousands, billions and millions of you are watching it. Everyone in the UK is watching it. I don't watch football, but England did do well. I saw the match and I was like, yeah, man, fair play. England played. They played great. It's been ages since they've played this good. The question that somebody has put up on the British problem is somebody called Rooney, the waster. I don't know if he's related to Rooney, but his name's Rooney anyway. He's saying people are not wanting to hang the flags for the World Cup in case they get mistaken for being racist. I'll tell you something very funny, Rooney. Where I live, it's a flag area. It's covered in flags everywhere. Yesterday, on my way back from a gig that I forgot to tell you about. I did a gig last night. Totally forgot to tell you about that one. But it doesn't really matter. I was driving back home and I spotted the flags on the poles, as I usually do. I always look at them. I don't know why. They don't bother me, to be honest with you. But I noticed they've changed the flags now. So all the flags that were there before are different. These ones have got the 3 lions on there, and it actually says England on it. So I'm guessing the people that originally put them up changed the flags to support the football as well. That's what it appears to be. So is it more friendlier? Probably is. I don't know. Rooney saying, I have heard from 5 people independently that they are not going to hang the St. George's Cross / England flag for the tournament this year because they don't want anybody to think that they're those type of people. And when he means types of people, he means the ones that paint roundabouts. Basically, his neighbours and friends don't want to be seen as racist in case they put an England flag. They don't want to offend anyone. Do you know what I think? Just put what you want up in it. It's a free country, free speech. You know what I mean? If you don't like certain people, keep it to yourself, innit? I don't like everyone. I'm not going to go out there and start protesting about it, though. Do you know what I mean? My brother's got an England flag out now in his bedroom. He doesn't care. He's got it out because he supports football. He's a massive Arsenal fan. Although he's in Japan, he's left his flag outside flying. But Rooney's saying, surely this is a bit of an own goal, pardon the pun, for Raise the Flags crowd. I suppose it is. It depends what they... I think the whole initial thing about flags was the immigration and I think people are just fed up of other cultures in this country. I think that's what's going on. That's my guess. So people are putting flags up to show they're supporting. I'm looking at a charity bag right now. It's in front of me. I just saw it now, and it's got the Union Jack on it, and it says, "Please help support our injured troops." So it's a bag that you can put, stuff in there like underwear, perfumes, toilets, any good quality clothing, shoes, handbags, and they literally just donate it or they sell it on, and the money goes to actual troops that have helped this country be safe. Now that I don't mind, and it's got the Union Jack. It's been in my room for I've just looked at it now. Honestly, didn't even make any of this up. That doesn't bother me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, each to their own, I say. But it does continue to be an actual British problem, unfortunately. That's the way it is. I have got my own problems myself. Before we continue, thank you, Rooney, for that. By the way, yeah, I've decided. I was listening to a podcast basically, and it was massive, man. It was a big podcast, and they're going to go Patreon now, which means they want people to support them. And I thought I should do that, but no one's going to pay me a monthly fee, are they? Who's going to pay me money every month to keep this going? So I've decided to set up a buy me a coffee. I'm on the actual website. It's buymeacoffee.com/Lovdev Barpega Comedian. So it's the same Instagram handle, Facebook handle I use for everything out there. So if you fancy buying me a coffee, I don't know how much a coffee is. It depends what country you're in, innit? And what shop you go to. You can literally just donate whatever you want. You can give me $1. You can give me a yen. You can give me a rupee. I don't know where you are. You can give me a euro or a pound. Whatever your currency is, and it's around about... £5 is okay, innit? £5 is enough to buy a drink. If you want to give me £5, if you want to give me more than £5, then please feel welcome to do so, because I wouldn't mind that money. It will help towards paying for the podcast, because at the moment, my money that I earn from gigs is going towards the podcast. And as you know, there are far fewer gigs this year. I don't know why. So my income from a comedy is getting less and less. So if you can help support this, I would really appreciate it. And it will keep the podcast going. I don't know. I don't have a lot of followers. I say it all the time. I don't, do I? Who listens to this? Nobody. Apart from you lot. I don't know why. But anyway, forget that. Buy me a coffee and let's do a weird news story. Now, I hope my brother is not involved in this weird news story. You're all thinking, why would your brother be involved in a weird news story? Because it comes all the way from Japan. That's why it's got me thinking now. So an alleged ice cream cartel in Japan is investigated as the sweltering summer looms. Authorities in Japan have raided 6 of the country's largest ice cream firms for allegedly concluding to raise the price of their product, provoking anger from frozen snack aficionados as they face a cruel summer ahead. Officials from Japan, that's the Fair Trade Commission, on Tuesday carried out searches for the corporate headquarters of loads of Japanese companies. I'm not even going to say all of them. There's Akagi, Ezaki, Lotte, Meiji. I've heard of Meiji. I didn't know that was Japanese. Morininga, right, are all due to suspicions that they have violated autumnally laws. I don't know what that means. Does that mean they're trying to make money from the heat? An official at the JFTC told The Guardian that this is not an issuing statement on the raids, but an all 6 company have confirmed they're under investigation by the Commission and say they are fully cooperating. The companies are suspected of concluding to use inflation in food prices to raise the price of their product beyond the increase in raw material cost. The senior executives in the company face allegation they held meetings and exchanged emails for years to coordinate the timing and the scale of retail price rises for ice cream and other frozen desserts. Wow! Are they all working together and saying, mate, if you put your, just say your Cornetto, if you put it up to £8, we can do the same? Is that what they're doing in Japan? That's quite a big story, isn't it, if you think about it? Maybe they're doing that in the UK. Maybe they're all working together. If you put your Mars bar up, we'll put our Cadbury's Dairy Milk. You never know. You never know. Meiji's ice cream and Moringa's milk 6-pack jumped in a lockstep 4 times between 2022 and 25. They put it up 4 times. Moringa Milk issued a statement on its website saying, subject to an on-site inspection by the Japanese Fair Trade Commission on suspicion of violating the Autonomy Act, we have taken this very seriously and will cooperate fully with the Commission's investigation. So according to JFTC, it's suspected of ice cream-related price cartel. Friggin' hell, they're calling them the cartel as well. The Japanese market for ice cream and frozen snacks hit a record $4 billion in the year to March, driven by increasingly hot summer and price rises. Japan's already sweltering and sweaty summers are being intensified by climate breakdown, with record highest temperatures being logged regularly in recent years. In April, authorities announced a new term for days when the mercury tops 40 Celsius. Friggin' now. Adding to this summer's woes are shortages in air conditioning pipe coverings. Oh, friggin' hell, they'll be called the cartel next. The coverings of the pipes contain naphtha, which is supply has been disrupted by the Middle East crisis, hitting installations of AC conditioner units. That's the end of the weird news story. So people in Japan, I say people, the ice cream companies in Japan are basically running ice creams like the mafia. That's crazy, man. I'm going to have to ask my brother and say, how much is an ice cream in Japan? Seeing as he's there now, I could ask him. We'll find out. I'll let you know. Talking about ice creams, how about something hot? Buy me a coffee. I'd proper appreciate it. Send it to me, man. I'd love you forever. Right, I'm going to head off. I've got a load of stuff to do today. See ya. Bye.